Hi, welcome back. And if you're new here, my name is Chica and I am the owner of BioDairy, where I make concrete home decor items. I'm also in the process of adding candles to the brand, so be sure to check out my other videos where I talk about the candle making process and my candle making journey, which will be in the description. This video is part 1 to hopefully a 3-part video where I am making a concrete soap dish. Since I started making concrete home decor, I've wanted to add a soap dish for a really long time, but I just couldn't find the right mold in the market, so I decided to make my own in 2024. I'm using DOS modeling clay, which is an air dry clay, so you don't have to do any glazing or firing to it. I also really like this brand, so if you are interested in trying air dry clay, I recommend using DOS. I've also tried Craft Smart natural clay and it just wasn't working out for me, so I would recommend using the DOS modeling clay if you're trying to do any DIY projects. It's easy to use and affordable. I've got my clay rolled out to a smooth surface. And I want the clay to be the same thickness as these coasters, so I'm using it to help guide me as I roll out the clay. I find it really helpful to find an object that is the same thickness or the same height that you want your prototype to be and use that as a guide to roll out the clay, and then you can just kind of go back over the clay with your rolling pin just to smooth it out a little bit more. In terms of the size for the soap dish, I'm really just eyeballing it, but using a soap bar as a reference. I'm just making sure that a standard soap bar can fit on the shape. One of the reasons why I opted for making my own prototype versus just buying a mold on the market is because I was looking for something that had a warm feel to it, where it wasn't perfect. You know that it was handmade. You know that it was handmade with love and care, and it just kind of fit into a more organic space. That is the direction that I want for my brand in 2024. This is not the only prototype that I'm making. I've actually started kind of redesigning some of the products that I already sell, and we'll be making a prototype for it in the future that is more of that has a more handmade feel to it versus a manufactured, mass-produced look. As I'm building the shape out, I'm thinking of all the little details that I can add to it. Also thinking of the space where it's gonna go. For example, on your bathroom counter, your bathroom vanity, it's gonna sit flush against the wall or the backsplash. And so trying to raise up the backside a little bit higher than it normally would be, so that way when your soap is sitting on it, it's not touching your walls. So just thinking of all the little details that I could possibly add to this. I also rolled the clay at a downward angle, and throughout the process I'm using my fingers to kind of push down towards the end of the clay so that when you put your soap on top, the water from the soap can slide and not sit at the base. My initial thought was to add drain holes in the middle, 3 drain holes in the middle, but I decided to opt for more vertical lines across, so doing 3 or 4 vertical lines across, so that way that the soap can sit on top of it and have space underneath for the water to flow out of the soap dish. Overall, this process took me about 45 minutes to make. It probably could have been less if I had sort of planned out the design initially. At first, the size that I started with was not big enough, so I had to crumble the clay and start over. I could have saved myself 15 minutes in making this prototype. Here I'm just adding the details, the vertical or horizontal lines, depending on what direction you're looking at it. From this moment, it's just me putting everything in the right place, getting the right positions and placements, and taking my time to fine tune all the details and smoothing everything out. I think the hardest part of this was making sure that there was a slope in this. I didn't have a leveler because I was using my phone to record, which I normally use as my leveler. So I was just eyeballing the slope and using pressure as I was adding these strips to make sure that the slope remained in the design. I hope you enjoyed this video and following along with my making process. If you are interested in trying air dry clay products, I hope you took something away from this video, or at least it showed you how easy it is to make anything that you're interested in. And if you want to see more content like this, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. In part 2, I will be showing you how I make a silicone mold, what products I use, and the do's and don'ts of making a silicone mold. Again, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification so that you know when the next video is posted.